Good morning and welcome back to our YouTube channel. I'm just heading down to the animals now, so I thought I'd bring you along with me. Hey Fernando, do you want to come with? Yeah. I've got to drive, I'm afraid. You still can't reach the pedals, but you can sit next to me. Okay. I don't think you like the sound of the engine, do you? Get ready. Get ready. Are you ready? Get ready. Sorry, baby. So I thought I'd give you an update on the goats because I've been getting a lot of questions about them after what happened in the last video. If you've not seen what happened, then I'll leave a link to it so you can watch. But basically, dogs broke in and attacked our goats, and one of them, poor Matilde, actually got injured and had to have staples and antibiotics and all sorts of things. But she's recovered really well. We had the vet round yesterday for a checkup and he's really happy with the progress. He actually removed a few staples. He said the rest should just fall out on their own, which is brilliant. Unfortunately, it has left the goats feeling quite stressed, and there was a moment actually the same day that the dogs came and attacked the goats. They came back that night, and that was obviously what we thought could happen. But since then, they've not been back, and we have set up a lot of precautions to make sure the dogs cannot get to the goats, and I'll show you that now. So here is the goats' new enclosure. As you can see, we've firstly got some electric fencing here. It runs the whole way across here because there's permanent fencing already affixed to the field. So that's the first defence. The second defence is another electric fence at the bottom because we discovered the night the dogs came in, they were trying to dig under, and I think that's how they got in before. They must have just wedged themselves underneath this electric fence, which is crazy. And then we thought we'll have two electric fences, that should stop them. Then obviously we've got the firm fence as well, and we lock them in the horse box at night for their extra safety. We also have CCTV down here, so massive thank you to Riolink. They hooked us up with these CCTV cameras quite a while ago. I'll leave a link in the description to them because they're amazing. We've used them for years. They're just set up over there and it triggers any movement, lets us know what's happening, and it's good because it means we can just tune in any time of the night or day and see what the animals are getting up to. Because even though they are close by, and I was alerted the first night that the dogs came back because I heard the dogs through the window, it's always good to be able to just double check and see what is going on. So now I need to go in and see how the goats are doing. Before I do the goats, I've got the chickens to feed. They want their freshies, and I will let them out as well. It's quite funny seeing them with the goats, but they absolutely love these cool, fresh vegetables. And I have turned the fence off, so I'm just gonna, walk over and take them their veg. Now today is actually quite cool, considering it's August. So I'm gonna seize the opportunity and clean out the animal enclosures. It's not a fun job. It's one that I don't like to do. I don't know why anyone would like doing it, but I'm gonna use it and clean them out. There's already a fly in my face and I haven't even started because these animals, they're not these animals, they're not neat and tidy like cats. They don't use a litter tray. They just poop and pee wherever they want. So in the summer, that does unfortunately attract a lot of flies. So chickens, you can come out and sunbathe. And I do still have a Broody hen, Patty. She's Broody, aren't you? Yes. Every day without fail, Patty's here sitting on eggs. It's much too warm to be bringing babies into the world in the summertime, sitting on eggs for 3 weeks and then having to obviously look after them. It's too much. So every day I bring her out, and when I open this, she doesn't want to sit in here, so it's a good way of keeping her out. But yeah, she's on 2 eggs If anyone has any recommendations for breaking a broody hen, I would love to hear it, because I've tried putting her in a crate for a few days in the house and that didn't work. I've tried cold baths, that didn't work. So I don't know what to do. And I'll take the eggs whilst I'm here. I'm now going to open up the goat enclosure. They're not really too fussed about coming out this early in the day, but I'll give them the chance to do it if they want. So, you might be wondering, where's Theo? He's actually out on the tractor right now. You might be able to hear it in the background, although I'm not sure if the mic will pick it up. So now this is open. Time to get started on the goat chores. So we're still not taking the goats out for their forest walks, because we do hear the dogs occasionally in the surrounding forest, and the last thing we want is to be out with them on the loose and the dogs appear. So if you're wondering what all these branches are, we've been bringing branches in for them, which they really enjoy. But I need to take them out because once they've cleaned them up, they just get in the way. And I've discovered that this one, they're not overly keen on. You didn't like it, did you, Sweetles? So I'm going to take all these out, and then it's time to muck out their horse box. Sweet Pea's just come over and started eating this tree branch, so I guess it's not that bad. It's not tasty, but it's not the worst. This is a literal tree. Now let's bring this up here. The goats are supervising me to make sure I do an adequate job. Let's take this out and that. Now, could one of you just pass me the broom and the spade? That'd be lovely. All right, let's just get the shovel. Don't nibble the broom. Sweetie, do you know that that exact same food is also available outside? You do know that? Now, I'm genuinely curious. I'm going to be building a veggie garden again soon, which I'm very excited about. Do you think I could use this dirty old straw in the raised bed, because we're going to be doing the whole hugelkultur method again? And it'd be such a shame to just not use all of this, because there's quite a lot of it. Let me know in the comments, because I'm hesitant to use it if it is going to be bad. What do you think, Sweetle? No, no, no. My knuckle is not for eating. All of the goats are making sure I'm doing an effective job, including Sweet Pea. Don't know what that knocking is, but it's very, very annoying. This is obviously a patch where one of them loves to go to the toilet because it's really a lot wetter than the other side. I didn't catch on camera, but Margot was just rolling in the dust. It was the cutest thing. Sweet Pea, I feel like you're gonna dive bomb the head. I reckon I could use this in the hugelkultur. After all, it's just organic matter that's gonna rot down. Right, now to take it. Sorry, Margot, you're right in the way, and I know you're gonna have to move. I'll try and go around you, but I'm sorry, my love. I know, I didn't want to make you move from your little dust bath. Sorry, sweetness. Okay, that's all cleaned out. It's washed out, so I'm just waiting for it to dry. So whilst I'm waiting for it to dry, I'm going to head over to the chicken coop and clean out their poop. The chickens pretty much always poop in the exact same spot, which makes it clean, easy to clean, but because it's summer they're drinking a lot more, which means their poos are a lot sloppier. So some of them have left some absolute bombs on here. I think I'm going to need to actually rinse it and give it a good scrub. I don't know if that caught on camera, but I just lent my entire arm on the crusted slopper, so that's just lovely. That just came off like a cow pat. Kind of cow pat. Chicken poo really smells revolting as well. Now I'll spray it down with some vinegar. So the vinegar water sprayed, and I like to use vinegar because it's a natural cleaner. It doesn't harm the animals. It doesn't harm anything really, unless you swallow it neat, and then it's going to really hurt your esophagus. But I have it diluted and I'm spraying that on to firstly loosen up the crusts and then clean the rest of it off. So I'm letting it kind of soften up, then I can wipe it off, spray it again and wipe it off, because poo is the biggest attractant for flies and flies create problems. So if I can eradicate as many flies as possible, I will. It's super tempting as well in summer, I'm going to give this another spray, to use things like the sticky fly traps, because you do get a lot of flies, but I really dislike using them because they don't discriminate what they catch. So they'll also catch pollinators and other insects that aren't a nuisance, so I don't like to use them. But the flies aren't actually too bad. Keeping on top of husbandry is very important, but also it's just one of those factors in the summer. And this vinegar water is doing a brilliant job of breaking up the poo. Although, Nancy, are you waiting to lay an egg? Thought you'd all laid eggs by now. I might need to get a proper scrubber because now it's just smeared everywhere. This spray has done a fantastic job of breaking up the poop, so I'm happy about that. And it smells like a chip shop in here. Delish. The chickens are all coming in to see what the hell I'm doing. Don't worry, lovelies, I'll be out in a minute. I'm not moving in with you. Hello, William. Yes, you've caught me, I'm cleaning. Don't worry, I'm not going to clean you today. It was yesterday that butt cleaning happened. Like I said, because I've been doing these sloppy poos because they're drinking more because it's warm. But that's also meant that their rear ends have been getting a little bit dirty. So I had to bathe them yesterday, which they were not happy about. But now they've all got clean backside, so that's brilliant. This is all done. I'm going to leave this open to dry out, and then they can have their nesting box back. Whilst I was doing that, the goat enclosure was drying out, so now let's check it, see if it's dry enough. If it is, I can whack the clean straw in, sweet peas in there, ensuring I did an adequate job. Don't think it's dry yet. No, I'll leave it for probably another half an hour. And then I can put the clean straw in. William's current obsession is wedging himself between the chicken coop and the chicken run and letting all the girls know he's found an amazing nesting spot. Unfortunately, he does this multiple times a day and the girls are used to it and know it's not an amazing nesting spot. But it's very cute nonetheless to see him do it. Now he's been caught in the act, he's going to try and escape and make out like he wasn't doing it. How are you going to get out this time? You're going to spin? Oh, it must be tough for a big cockerel. There we go, and he's out. Since putting this shade on the top and also putting this shade here, it's made a massive difference to the outdoor run area. It's nice and cool, and I've been wetting the ground as well because it's a really good way to get them to keep their feet cool by rummaging around in the wet soil, which is cooler, because chickens cool down the best through their feet. They don't have sweat glands. So that's one of the things I do during summertime, is constantly keep a patch of their coop, of their run, nice and wet, so they can rummage around in the soil and cool down. They also do have a little pool that they can stand into, and Frenchie seems to be the only one who actually stands in that. Top up your water. Pull this one out. Can go there. And you're good for food. Oh, it's nice and dry now, isn't it, Marge? One, two. Let's try 3 and see how that looks. Straight on the fresh straw, wonderful. Is this your protest? I can't believe you just did that. You absolute joker. Let me just whack some extra straw on that. Oh, and a little poop as well. The cheek of it. Cheeky, cheeky. Immediately after putting the straw down, Sweet Pea stood behind me and just weed and pooed all over it, so I guess it's a good sign that she's happy that it's a clean toilet for her again. Goats are so funny. Theo's just firing up the tractor because we're going to attach the trailer to it and head down to the terraces because we've got some dirt to collect, and I'm not going to say what the dirt's for just yet. It's for an exciting project. It is super handy, and I think I said this in the video before last, having the ball hitch on the back of the tractor, because being able to use the trailer is so good. I swore I'd never do it again, but here I am in the back of the trailer. Theo's in the tractor this time though, so he can't go as fast as in the car. So fingers crossed this time it's not as wild as last. Regretting sitting in the back because it's very dusty and I feel like my lungs are now full of soil. unhitching the trailer because we need to turn it around and there's not enough space here to be able to do that. So we're going to turn it around, then re-hitch it once it's full of soil. This should be a nice, fun job. I'm looking forward to seeing the tractor just piling up massive amounts of soil. Okay, right, I better stop filming and actually help out.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Watch your legs from this.
And then we'll push straight back.
Yeah.
Walk in, ready?
Yeah.
That's good. Keep going. 3, 2, 1. Keep going. You hold on to that.
Yeah, I've got it.
I'll drive forwards.
Yeah.
And then we can push it back further.
Having the right equipment makes jobs like this a lot easier. I know I still haven't said what this dirt is for yet, but I'm sure some people have already guessed. And having that front loader on the tractor is just such a dream. It'll be good to get rid of this pile of dirt as well, because it doesn't need to be there. It's basically all of the wash off from the flash floods last year that went down into the ditch that Theo dug out. Here we go. First scoop a go-go. Feel like such a nerd. Yeah, I feel like such a nerd getting excited to see the tractor scoop up soil. Oh, this is what happens. Oh, wonderful. Oh, I just remembered I was meant to bring a spade. I completely forgot. We're going to have many trips, so I can get one on the way back. I knew that was going to happen. Just don't want it to all fly off. The first load is in. Yes, don't need you. we now have enough soil, as you can see, to take it up to the top. So I'm going to shut this. Impossible with one hand. It is one dusty job. Everything's covered in dust, including me. And it's not dust actually, it's dirt. Theo's using his spade feet to level it out.
So if you're wondering what I was doing this morning, well, B had the pleasure of cleaning out the goats. I conveniently had to fix this bit of road so that I could get the trailer and the tractor through here, because this morning there was a big mound of dirt right here in the way where I needed to go, and that worked really smoothly actually. So now I need to drive it up to the house and drop it off.
Good morning. We actually ran out of light last night, so we ended up getting the soil up to the house and then leaving it, and we're going to be decanting it this morning. It's bright and early, and you might be able to see behind me one raised bed, because what we're using the soil for is my raised beds. We're setting up a veggie garden and I'm super excited. This has been something I've been looking forward to for a really long time, and we've now got the time to do it. So in our last property, we used the hugelkultur method for our raised beds, and it worked absolutely amazingly. And that's basically you fill up your raised beds with logs, soils, twigs, organic matter that over the years rots down and creates a really nutrient-rich soil. So we're going to be filling our raised beds with that, and also the soil that we have just been moving, and we're going to be using that soil to also level the ground, because this spot is perfect here outside the house. It gets dappled sunlight throughout the summer, and then the leaves are gone during the winter, so it'll get the winter sun. So I'm hoping this will be really good, and also seeing it from the kitchen window means that I won't forget to water my garden and tend to it every single day. So what we need to do now is decant the soil from the trailer, get it out, and just level the areas where we want the raised beds, because we also haven't decided exactly where we want the raised beds. We've got quite a few. We've got a lovely U-shaped one, we've got 3 really deep ones, and then the one behind me is a nice shallow one that I want to have as a herb garden. We haven't decided yet who's going to be shoveling it out of the back and who's going to be moving the wheelbarrow. I don't think either of those tasks are good, so I think we might have to toss a coin to see. We haven't decided yet who's going to be shoveling it out of the back and who's going to be moving the wheelbarrow. I don't think either of those tasks are good, so I think we might have to toss a coin to see. Theo's just dismounted the trailer and he's pulled the back card, so he needs to do the wheelbarrowing and I'll be doing the shoveling.
Dusty.
It is going to be dusty.
Beautiful morning there.
It is gorgeous. So, right. I need to limber up and ready for this shovel session. Look at all this soil. decided that shoveling it is just way too long, and so we're just moving the trailer so that we can actually get the tractor onto the back of it and just tractor it off, because we tractored it on, so let's tractor it off.
It's true, there's things these photographs don't show. When she took my hand, dreaming as we ran.
B is doing an excellent job at getting rid of all of the dregs out of the trailer, all the little stones and dirt that I couldn't pick up with the front loader, but the front loader and the trailer worked perfectly. Great combination. One thing I will say though is a tipper trailer would have made life a lot easier, but it really wasn't that difficult in the end. Probably took an extra 20 minutes than what a tipper trailer would do. So if we were doing multiple rounds, like 10 times backwards and forwards, obviously we'd need a tipper trailer. But for now, this worked perfectly, and I can put a tipper trailer on my Christmas list.
The soil is all moved off the trailer, and now Theo's going to use the tractor to move. It kind of blends in so it's hard to see, but there's a mound of wood chips here that we made with our chipper a few months ago. They're in the way, so he's going to move those, and we want to see if this raised bed will fit nicely around this tree. I'm fairly sure these chippings were different types of pine, but it's wonderful. And all you need to do is just dig down a little bit. It's really moist in there. Perfect breeding ground for mushrooms. So eventually this is going to go in the raised beds as well, and along the floor too. And now Tractor Man is ready. Well, that was incredibly simple. Smells lovely apparently. Let's have a sniff. Oh, it does. The soil's really nice underneath here as well. It killed off all of the weeds that was growing and has just created a wonderful layer. You can see here the mycelium, I think that's what it's called. So we're thinking that could possibly fit around the tree, which would be quite nice. So let's see.
Looks so cool with the,
If it's levelled, it would be really lovely.
yeah, the trees coming out. So nice.
I love it! That's brilliant!
We've got a lot of levelling to do.
Yeah, look
but
at how uneven it is. It's like...
I feel like we need to get the enchilada and bring this
bring
side
it
down a bit.
Yeah.
And then we can pop this side up a bit. It's really cool.
How exciting. It fits really well around the tree. As you can see, it's incredibly unlevel. We do need to level it, but that's another job that we'll be doing. But I'm so happy with that.
So that has been a really productive couple of days. Super stoked with how this garden is coming along, and super stoked for B as well, because I can't tell you how excited she is. And thank you to all of the suggestions on the last video about guard animals to protect our goats and our chickens and any other animals that we get in the future. They really were cool. And one thing we've always thought of getting in the future is a donkey. We absolutely adore donkeys, and I'm pretty sure one donkey can live with the goats and will protect them really well. They're vicious against dogs. So as many of you already know, I'm autistic, and one thing that really stresses me out is dogs barking. So if we were to get a guard dog, it would be barking at a fox, mongoose, any predators, other dogs, literally everything it will bark at. And that would really stress me out on my own property, which wouldn't be good. So we won't be getting a guard dog, but we will probably be getting a donkey. So we've got all that to come in the future, which is very exciting. We've got some fencing to build first for the goats and the donkey, and also a really nice like paddocked, locked area with a barn as well where they can sleep in the evening.
Well, that is it. I'm really happy with how everything's turning out. My excitement over this garden is unparalleled, and I've got my first coffee of the day and I'm ready to start planning what I'm going to do with my garden. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video.